I went to a party, Mom, and I remember what you said. You told me not to drink, Mom, so I drank a Sprite instead. I felt proud of myself the way you said I would. I didn't drink and drive, even though my friends said I should. I made a healthy choice, and your advice to me was right. The party finally ended, and the kids drove out of sight. Alcohol is consumed at many occasions at events such as birthday parties, weddings, get-togethers, and even ball games. According to CDC.gov, the United States Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, alcohol is produced by the fermentation of yeast, sugars, and starches, and they work together and they make some kind of chemical that affects every organ in your body, so they don't function properly. It's common sense. You hear people say it all the time, not to drink and drive, but why do people do it anyways? Because many of us know people who drink, we have family members who drink, or we may even drink ourselves, it is important to know the dangers of drinking, and if you're under the influence and you get into a vehicle. Drunk driving can cause a severe and life-threatening consequence on people's lives, not just our lives, but the people around us as well. And today I'm going to talk about the consequences and the preventions. I got into my car sure to get home in one piece. I never knew what was coming, Mom, something I'd expect the least. Now I'm lying on the pavement and I hear the policeman say, "The kid that caused this wreck was drunk, Mom," and his voice was seen far away. The problem is that drunk driving is killing innocent civilians every day, and you see it on the news all the time. I've had family members who've been in car crashes due to drunk driving, not because they were drunk, but it was because the other person was. Even in broad daylight, it happens every day. The problem is that drunk driving is killing innocent people, and people die because of one person's reckless decision. Statistics show that 70% of teens drive, and 60% of all car-related accidents have to do with driving under the influence. Death is not the only consequence from drunk driving, but your car can get impounded, thousands of dollars fine. You can be on probation and possible jail time. Although death is a consequence, there are other consequences as well. According to reachout.com, other consequences include financial burdens. So if your car gets totaled or you want to fix it or anything, it's gonna be costly. And if you end up in a hospital, medical bills are pretty expensive as well. And if your insurance is under your parents, it's gonna have a negative effect on your parents' insurance as well. Other impacts can involve DUI under your background. So if you try to apply for a job in the future, it's going to be difficult because no one would want to hire someone that was irresponsible. But first I talk about the problems, and now I'm going to talk about the causes. My own blood's all around me as I try not to cry. I can hear the paramedics say that this kid's going to die. I'm sure the guy had no idea while he was flying high. Because he chose to drink and drive, now I have to die. So why do people do it, Mom, knowing that it ruins lives? And now the pain is cutting me like a 100-stabbing knife. Moving on to the cause of why people drink under the influence. Many people don't know or realize what they do or say when under the influence of alcohol. According to Julia Chrysalis, people get behind the wheel drunk because they feel invincible and our body isn't functioning properly. People don't know, like they say, a drunk mind speaks a sober mind, but then like it's true, like people say what they don't mean to say when they are under the influence. Alcohol has a huge influence not only on what we think, but how our organs react as well. We have neurotransmitters in our bodies, and they travel through neurons and elicit reactions from us. So we react very differently from what would act when we're sober. Adrenaline and serotonin is a type of neurotransmitter. Adrenaline is what makes us do daring things, like if you go skydiving or something, you're gonna have that feel inside you that makes you like invincible. And serotonin is just like a happy feeling. It makes you feel happy all the time. Like you don't have to worry about anything. The chemicals in alcohol interfere with neurotransmitters in our body, and it messes up signals that are supposed to be sent throughout the body. Research has shown that some people are so drunk that they think they are less drunk than they are. Not only do chemicals mess with our body, but peer pressure may play a part in drinking and driving as well. For example, at a party, and if you took a couple of shots and then the party died down, your friend decides to move it somewhere else. So obviously someone has to drive there, and then there goes peer pressure, and then that's where you start driving under the influence. I talked about the problem of drinking and driving, and I talked about the causes, and now I'm going to talk about the solutions. Tell sister not to be afraid, mom. Tell daddy to be brave. And when I go to heaven, put mommy's girl on my grave. There are many ways to avoid drinking and driving, and together we can decrease the amount of drunk drivers on the road. According to the Journal of Article on Drug Education, ways to prevent drinking and driving are to have many checkpoints, which is happening a lot now in a few cities around the curfew time. Other ways to prevent drunk driving is to bring extra money just in case you need to call a taxi or to have a designated driver. That person should not drink and should be responsible for driving you home. If you see someone drunk and about to get in a car, help them, call a taxi, give them a ride, do whatever it takes to prevent them from drinking and driving. I've seen too many accidents on the road because of this, and it's pretty devastating. When someone's drunk, they take a long time to process information through their head, so be sure to explain things to them slowly so they can understand what you're saying. According to the article, The Prevention of Drinking and Driving, there should be more DUI enforcement with seatbelt and speed checkpoints, because the majority of accidents that involve drunk driving also involve excessive speed. If everyone worked together to prevent drunk driving, all the dangerous and costly consequences would be prevented as well. Before getting behind the wheel while intoxicated, think about your loved ones, and if you see someone driving around drunk, report it to the police because it can help save a life. Someone should have taught him that this is wrong, that it is wrong to drink and drive. Maybe if his parents had, I'd still be alive. My breath is getting shorter, Mom. I'm becoming very scared. Please don't cry for me, Mom. When I needed you, you were always there. I have one last question, Mom. Before I say goodbye, I didn't drink and drive, so why do I have to die? It's difficult to deal with the loss of a loved one, so it's best to do everyone a favor and prevent drinking and driving.